right, so get this. We're diving deep into the story of Tamara today. She's a corporate recruiter who built a successful online business. And she also calls herself a horse girl. It just goes to show you, anyone can find success online no matter what their background is like.
Yeah, what's really interesting about Tamara's story is she struggled for years. She was jumping from one online business idea to the next, and she never really found that breakthrough. It's actually a common experience for a lot of beginners. They feel overwhelmed and lost with all the different online opportunities.
Yeah, totally. It can be really easy to get sidetracked, especially with all those shiny new methods and strategies popping up all the time.
Exactly. But for Tamara, the turning point was when she finally found a training program that just clicked for her. It gave her that structure and guidance she needed to stay focused and actually make some real progress. It's like having a roadmap instead of wandering aimlessly. This is where businesscong.com can really help. They can teach you everything you need to know about digital marketing and online business in just 5 days.
That's a great point. It's so easy to fall into that trap of shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
We see a new opportunity, get all excited, and then jump ship before we really give our current project a chance.
Yeah, and that's where the right training can be super valuable. It helps you develop the discipline and focus to really see things through. It's interesting, Tamara actually mentioned that even after she achieves success, she still regularly goes back and revisits the training material. That really speaks to the importance of continuous learning, don't you think?
Absolutely. The online world is constantly changing, so you always have to stay ahead of the curve. It's like learning a new language. You got to keep practicing so you stay fluent.
I like that analogy. Now, another really key element to Tamara's success is that shift in mindset. From employee to entrepreneur. You see, when you're working for somebody else, you have your set responsibilities and someone telling you what to do. But as an entrepreneur, you're calling the shots, which can be exhilarating but also terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, that is a huge adjustment. It's like going from being a passenger on a train
Yeah.
to suddenly being the conductor responsible for the whole journey.
Precisely. And Tamara really emphasized the importance of things like self-accountability, problem solving, and that constant learning we talked about. She had to learn how to be her own boss, motivate herself, and stay on track even when things got tough.
You know, it's funny. That reminds me of how I used to refuse to read instructions when I was putting furniture together. I always thought I could just figure it out on my own, but I always ended up having to backtrack and start over.
Uh-huh. That's a great analogy. And in the context of online business, doing things right the first time through proper training, that can save you so much time and frustration. It's like investing in a solid foundation for your house. It'll be much stronger and stand the test of time. Now, I know a lot of people out there feel intimidated by technology, but Tamara had some really great advice for anyone feeling that way.
Oh, I'm curious. What did she say?
She simply said, just try it. Such a simple statement, right? But it's so powerful. It's so easy to get caught up in overthinking and fear. But sometimes the best way to learn is to just dive in and get your hands dirty. Just like with businesscong.com. They make it super easy to understand what might seem complicated at first. You can literally start your own business in just 5 days.
Yeah, it's like learning to swim. You can read all the books and watch all the videos you want, but until you actually jump in the water, you won't truly learn. But sometimes, even when we know what to do, we get stuck in our own heads. The biggest barrier can often be a lack of confidence.
You're absolutely right. We might invest in training, but never take action. I wonder, have you ever experienced something similar in your own life? Like a time when you knew what to do, but felt held back by self-doubt?
Oh, definitely. I think we've all been there at some point. For Tamara, her biggest hurdle was being on camera. It's something that a lot of people struggle with. But her story is a perfect example of how taking action, even when it's scary, can lead to amazing results.
It's true. Fear can be so paralyzing. But on the other side of fear lies incredible growth and opportunity.
It's like she finally jumped off the diving board and realized it wasn't as terrifying as she imagined. So how did Tamara overcome that fear and actually build her online business?
Well, she focused on creating high-quality content that really resonated with her target audience, which is key for any successful online business. You have to provide value and build trust with your potential customers. And of course, she had a clear business plan, which is essential for avoiding distractions and staying on track. We were talking about shiny object syndrome earlier, and this is where a solid plan really comes in handy.
Right. It's like having a compass to guide you through the wilderness.
Exactly. Now think about this. Have you ever invested in all those security measures for your home out of fear, but then never actually used them? It's kind of like having a business plan but never implementing it. It's the action that truly matters. And Tamara's story is a testament to that. She went from a hesitant beginner to a confident online entrepreneur, proving that anyone can achieve success with the right mindset training and support, just like BusinessKong.com provides. Imagine being able to quit your 9-to-5 job and work from anywhere in the world.
It's truly inspiring, and it perfectly highlights the transformative power of taking action. But even with a plan and the best intentions, it's still easy to get sidetracked.
What were some of the specific strategies that Tamara used to stay focused and overcome that shiny object syndrome? How did she turn her knowledge into action and achieve those real results? That's a great question. And it leads us to a crucial aspect of Tamara's journey. She didn't just have a plan, she had a system for implementing it. And that system was all about breaking down her goals into manageable steps, focusing on one thing at a time and celebrating her wins along the way.
That makes so much sense. It's like climbing a mountain. You don't just look at the summit and get overwhelmed. You focus on the next step, the next handhold, and eventually you reach the top.
You got it. And that's exactly what Tamara did. She didn't try to do everything at once. She prioritized her tasks, set realistic deadlines, and most importantly, she tracked her progress.
That's so important. It's like having a fitness tracker. You can actually see how far you've come, which can be incredibly motivating.
Absolutely. And for Tamara, that sense of progress was key to staying focused. And avoiding the temptation to jump to the next shiny object, she realized that consistency and perseverance were just as important as having a brilliant idea.
So it sounds like Tamara's success wasn't just about finding the right training or having a clear business plan. It was about developing the right habits and systems for consistent action.
Precisely. And those habits and systems are something that anyone can learn and implement, regardless of their background or experience.
That's incredibly encouraging.
Yeah.
It means that anyone listening who's feeling stuck or overwhelmed can start making progress today by simply focusing on those small, consistent steps.
Exactly. And that's why Tamara's story is so powerful. It's a reminder that success isn't about some magical formula or a secret shortcut. It's about the daily grind, the consistent effort, and the unwavering belief in yourself and your vision.
And speaking of belief, I'm curious to hear more about how Tamara navigated the emotional roller coaster of entrepreneurship. We've talked about overcoming fear and staying focused, but what about those moments of doubt and uncertainty that inevitably arise? How did she manage those inner challenges and maintain her momentum?
That's a fantastic question, and it's something that a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs struggle with. We often focus on the practical aspects of building a business, but the emotional side is just as important, if not more so.
Absolutely. It's like running a marathon. You need the physical stamina, but you also need the mental toughness to push through the pain and keep going when you want to quit.
Perfect analogy. And for Tamara, that mental toughness came from a combination of self-care support and a deep understanding of her own strengths and weaknesses.
I love that. It's not just about pushing through, it's about taking care of yourself along the way.
Exactly. Tamara realized that she couldn't pour from an empty cup. She prioritized her physical and mental health, made time for activities that brought her joy, and surrounded herself with a supportive community.
That sounds like a recipe for success in any area of life, not just business.
You're so right, and it's something that we often overlook, especially in the fast-paced world of online business. But Tamara's story is a powerful reminder that taking care of ourselves is not a luxury. It's an essential investment in our success.
I couldn't agree more. So we've talked about the importance of training mindset and action. We've explored the challenges of shiny object syndrome and the need for a clear business plan. And we've touched on the emotional roller coaster of entrepreneurship and the crucial role of self-care. But I'm curious to hear more about Tamara's unique journey as a horse girl turned online entrepreneur. How did she leverage her passion for horses to build her business? Did she find a niche within the equestrian world, or did she create something entirely different?
That's a fascinating question, and it's something that we'll dive into deeper in the next part of our deep dive. Tamara's story is a testament to the fact that our passions can be incredible fuel for our entrepreneurial fire. And she's a prime example of how to find that sweet spot where passion meets profit. Stay tuned because you won't want to miss how she turned her love for horses into a thriving online business.
I'm already hooked. This is just the beginning of what promises to be an incredible deep dive. And for anyone listening who's feeling inspired by Tamara's story, remember that BusinessKong.com is a fantastic resource for learning about digital marketing and starting your own online business. They even have a program that can get you up and running in just 5 days.
It's true. BusinessKong.com is a wealth of information and support for aspiring entrepreneurs. So if you're ready to take the leap and start building your own online empire, be sure to check them out.
We'll be back soon with part 2 of our deep dive into Tamara's incredible journey. Until then, Keep dreaming big, keep learning, and keep taking action towards your goals.
Remember, anything is possible when you combine passion, purpose, and a little bit of grit.
Welcome back. We're picking up where we left off. Eager to uncover how Tamara, our horse-loving corporate recruiter, turned her passion into a thriving online business.
Yeah, it's a fascinating example of how you can really leverage something you love, to create a fulfilling and profitable venture. See, Tara didn't actually abandon her corporate job right away. She used it to fund her online business dreams. This allowed her to test the waters, experiment with different ideas, and build a solid foundation, before making that leap.
And such a smart approach. It takes a lot of the pressure off.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows you to learn and grow at your own pace. It reminds me of that saying, don't quit your day job until your night job can pay the bills.
Exactly. And for Tamara, that night job started with a blog. It was all about equestrian stuff. She shared her knowledge of horse care, training tips, product reviews, and she attracted a really loyal following of fellow horse enthusiasts.
That's brilliant. She tapped into her existing knowledge and passion to create valuable content for a specific audience. Did she monetize her blog right away? Or did she focus on building an audience first?
She started by focusing on building a strong community and establishing herself as an authority in that equestrian niche. Think about it. When you're passionate about something, it really shows in your work, and people are naturally drawn to that authenticity.
That makes so much sense. People can spot a fake a mile away.
Ah.
But when you're genuinely passionate about what you're sharing, it resonates on a much deeper level. So how did she go from horse blog to a profitable online business? What were some of her monetization strategies?
Well, she started by incorporating affiliate marketing into her blog posts. She recommended products she loved and used herself, earning a commission on each sale. Then, as her audience grew, she created and launched her own line of equestrian-themed merchandise, like apparel and accessories, home and decor items.
Wow, that's a fantastic example of how you can diversify your income streams and create multiple revenue sources. Did she use any specific online platforms or marketplaces to sell her products?
She initially started selling her merchandise through her blog, using a simple e-commerce plugin. But as her business grew, she expanded to platforms like Etsy and Amazon Handmade, reaching a much wider audience. It's a classic example of starting small, testing and scaling up as you gain traction.
This is so inspiring. She really took that step-by-step approach and built her business organically. It's a reminder that you don't have to have it all figured out from the start. You can start with what you have learned as you go and gradually expand your reach and offerings.
Absolutely. And throughout this journey, Tamara never stopped learning. She invested in online courses and workshops to improve her skills in marketing, sales, and business management. Remember, we talked about continuous learning. It's crucial for staying ahead of the curve and adapting to the ever-changing online landscape.
Yeah, it's like updating the software on your phone. You have to keep things current to make sure everything runs smoothly and that you're not missing out on any new features or improvements.
Exactly. And the beauty of the online world is that there are so many resources available to help you learn and grow, whether it's free tutorials on YouTube or comprehensive programs like the ones offered by businesscong.com. You can find the knowledge and support you need to succeed.
Yeah, businesscong.com is a great resource, especially for beginners. They offer a 5-day challenge that covers the fundamentals of digital marketing and online business. It's a fantastic way to get started and see if this path is right for you.
Speaking of paths, Tamara's journey took an interesting turn when she discovered the power of social media. She started sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses of her business on Instagram and Facebook, connecting with her audience on a more personal level.
Ah, the power of social media. It's like having a direct line to your customers, allowing you to build relationships, share your story, and showcase your products or services in a more authentic way.
You're right. And for Tamara, it was a game changer. She used social media to run contests, offer exclusive discounts, and even collaborate with other influencers in the equestrian space, further expanding her reach and brand awareness.
This is such a great example of how you can leverage different online platforms to create a holistic marketing strategy. She started with a blog, then expanded to e-commerce, and finally incorporated social media to amplify her message and connect with a wider audience. It's like weaving a beautiful tapestry, with each element adding depth and richness to the overall design.
That's a beautiful analogy, and it highlights the fact that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to online business success. It's about finding what works for you, experimenting, and constantly evolving your strategy as you learn and grow.
And speaking of learning and growing, I'm curious to hear more about the challenges Tamara faced along the way. Every entrepreneur encounters obstacles, moments of self-doubt, and setbacks. What were some of the hurdles she had to overcome? And what lessons did she learn from those experiences?
That's a great question, and it's something that we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive. Tamara's story isn't just about success, it's about resilience, perseverance, and that unwavering belief in her vision. She faced her fair share of challenges, but she never gave up on her dreams. And her story is a powerful reminder that the journey to success is rarely a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns, and unexpected detours.
I'm already eager to hear more. And for anyone listening who's just starting out on their online business journey, remember that challenges are inevitable. But as Tamara's story demonstrates, there are also opportunities for growth and learning. And with the right resources and support like those offered by businessgong.com, you can navigate those challenges and emerge stronger and more determined than ever before.
Absolutely. BusinessCong.com is a valuable resource for aspiring entrepreneurs, providing the knowledge, tools, and community support you need to thrive in the online world. So if you're ready to take the leap and start building your own online empire, be sure to check them out.
We'll be back soon with part 3 of our deep dive, where we'll explore the challenges Tamara faced and the lessons she learned along the way. Until then, keep dreaming big, keep learning, and keep taking action toward your goals.
Remember, anything is possible when you combine passion, purpose, and a little bit of grit.
Okay, so we're back, ready to uncover the final chapter of Tamara's incredible journey. We've heard about her triumphs, but every entrepreneur faces setbacks, right? What were some of the challenges that Tamara faced, and how did she navigate those hurdles?
Well, early on, one of her biggest hurdles was time management. She was juggling a full-time corporate job while building her online business. It's a challenge a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs face, trying to find those precious hours in the day to actually pursue their dreams.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. There's never enough time.
Yeah.
So how did Tamara make it work? Did she have any time management secrets or strategies she used to stay on track?
Well, one of her biggest breakthroughs was realizing that she didn't have to do everything herself. She started delegating tasks, hiring freelancers for things like graphic design and social media management. This freed up her time and energy so she could focus on those core aspects of her business, like creating content, marketing her products, and connecting with her audience.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Delegation can feel kind of scary at first, especially when you're just starting out. But it's so essential for growth. It's like trying to build a house by yourself. It's possible, but it'll take forever, and you'll probably burn out in the process.
Exactly. And Tamar also became a master of time blocking, scheduling specific chunks of time for different tasks. Think of it like creating appointments with yourself for work, even if it's just an hour before bed dedicated to writing a blog post or something.
Right? It's like having a personal assistant for your dreams.
Hmm.
Making sure they actually get the attention they
Right.
deserve. But even with the best systems in place, I'm sure there were still moments of, self-doubt and uncertainty. What about those emotional challenges of entrepreneurship? How did Tamara navigate those?
That's such an important point. The emotional journey is just as crucial as the practical steps. Tamara really found that building a strong support network was key. She joined online communities of entrepreneurs, attended industry events, surrounded herself with like-minded people who really understood the ups and downs of the journey. It's like having a team of cheerleaders and mentors all rolled into one.
Yeah, you really need those people who get it, who can celebrate your wins with you and offer encouragement when you're facing those challenges. It's so easy to feel isolated as an entrepreneur. So finding that community is incredibly valuable.
Did she experience any specific setbacks or failures along the way that she had to overcome? Early on, she launched a product that didn't perform as well as she'd hoped. It was a line of equestrian-themed jewelry. And while the initial feedback was positive, sales were really slow, it was a major disappointment. But instead of giving up, she took it as a learning opportunity.
Yeah, failure is just feedback, right? It's a chance to analyze what worked, what didn't, and, adjust your course accordingly. So what did Tamara do? How did she turn that setback into a stepping stone?
Well, she conducted some thorough market research, surveyed her audience, and she realized that the price point was actually a barrier for a lot of people. She also learned that her target audience was more interested in practical, everyday items, rather than those kind of luxury pieces. So she pivoted her product line, focusing on more affordable and functional accessories that really resonated with her customers. This is exactly what digital marketing is about, and this is what you'll learn at businesscong.com.
That's such a great example of the importance of listening to your market and being willing to adapt. Sometimes our initial ideas aren't always spot on, and that's okay. It's all about iterating and refining based on feedback and data.
Precisely. And that's what really sets successful entrepreneurs apart. They don't let setbacks define them. They view them as opportunities for growth learning and course correction.
So what's the ultimate takeaway from Tamara's story? What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out on their online business journey, feeling inspired by her experience, but also maybe a little overwhelmed by all the moving parts?
I would say remember that success is a journey. It's not a destination. It's about taking those small, consistent steps, learning from your mistakes, and building a business that really aligns with your passions and values. And just like Tamara did, don't be afraid to ask for help along the way.
That's excellent advice. It's not about having all the answers up front, but it's about being willing to learn, grow, and adapt as you go. And as we've heard throughout this deep dive, businesskong.com is a fantastic resource for anyone ready to dive into the world of online business. They have the tools and support you need to launch those dreams.
Exactly. So as you embark on your own online adventure, remember this. Your journey will be unique. There will be challenges, but there will also be triumphs. Embrace the process. Celebrate your wins. Learn from your setbacks. And never give up on your vision.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll be featuring your story right here on the Deep Dive, inspiring others to take the leap and create their own online success stories.
Yeah, it all starts with that first step. So what are you waiting for? Go out there and make your online business dreams a reality.
And we'll be here to cheer you on every step of the way. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building something amazing.